sitting with the lovely Jessica Lynn. How you doing?
I'm great. How are you?
It's great to have you on the show. It's
Thank you
so
so
nice
much.
to finally get you here and get you back in the UK. And from what I hear, it's been a crazy tour so far.
It's been so great.
Yeah.
It's always amazing when a tour or experience exceeds your expectations, and that every room that we've done has just been incredible. The people have been so nice. It's been a dream come true, this trip. And we started May 22nd, so we've been going a long time.
Wow. Where was the first place you started?
We actually started in Manchester, England, flew home. I had one day, I flew right to Tennessee to film for my TV show.
Wow.
One day, started the USA tour, one day, and then we flew right to Germany.
Wow.
So we've been so busy.
My goodness. And so you're doing a TV show too, you said?
Yeah, my third full-length nationwide concert television special comes out in America this month.
Wow, congratulations.
Thanks.
That's really cool.
I'm really excited, and
Yeah.
it also hits UK TV nationwide.
Wait, so what's it compromising of?
So,
what's it about? Give us a
My last two shows, they're just full-length concerts, so hour-long television concert specials. And they were kind of big. The last one had dancers and a huge theater. It was filmed in New York. And this one, because it's my third, I wanted to strip everything down, and we're doing an acoustic storytelling television special.
That's nice.
So as the songwriter of everything, it was really important to me to kind of show this other more intimate, personal side of myself to the audience. So a lot of new music and a lot of different versions of songs that people know from me. So for me, it was a challenge to put together, but also very exciting.
I reckon it would be. That's a really beautiful way of kind of taking the music and giving it a real personal spin too. Because I mean, I play too, and when you're out on stage, it's always so easy just to get caught up in doing the big crowd pleasers and the song that everybody wants to hear. But when you can really sort of, I guess, take that gamble in a way, isn't it, to really put that personal side of yourself out there and bring that element of you to it, really personal. That's really great.
Our shows, our live shows, are very known for being very high energy, and I've gotten the name so far from 2 reviews on this trip. The Pocket Rocket from New York City, because I'm small.
That's a great name.
And the Country Tigger, because I jump around so much.
That's cool. I like that.
So people don't often see the side of me, and I'm a multi-instrumentalist. I do arrange and write everything that the band plays.
Wow, that's a big thing. You do all of the arranging and everything.
Yes.
My goodness.
My main instrument is piano. I was classically trained. I don't even play it in the show. So there's a lot that people don't know about me.
Because you're mainly on the acoustic guitar, right?
Yeah.
And you're always, as you say, bouncing around. You got so much energy.
So it's,
and wow,
people don't often know these things about me.
No.
And actually, it's kind of an interesting story. Something that prompted me to want to do a show like this. I actually also play drums. And
is there anything this lady can't do? No, there's not. My gosh, do you ever sleep?
No.
No. You just survive on coffee and music and traveling.
And we were playing a show, and someone actually asked me after the show if I was actually playing the instruments or playing to tracks.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
And it was a compliment in the way that they thought it was good that I couldn't possibly be doing that. But I also took it as like, wait a second, like, I want people to know
the difference.
That I do these things, and that I am the person behind the music and not just someone up there like bouncing around. So it put the idea in my head, like, let's do something different and really show people like who I am and what
you
do.
I love that. Take it in your own hands and in that sense too, also giving back even more than what you probably would have done if that person hadn't said that.
Yeah, it's true.
So that's really cool.
I'm a big believer everything happens at the time it's supposed to happen and for a reason, and I think I needed that little comment to be like, wait a second, let's do this, you know.
Wow. And so how many, I mean, you've been on the road since May, you said. So how many countries have you visited so far since you've been, because that's a long time.
Yeah.
That's a lot of touring and a lot of no sleep.
So far we've done England, Scotland, Poland, Italy, France, Germany.
Wow. Nashville. You went back to do stuff there.
The States and Lithuania too. We haven't been there yet on this trip, but that's where we end up.
Wow.
So that's 7
incredible.
countries.
And how does it feel when you go to each country and you think all these people have come to just see me. I mean, that feeling is overwhelming.
I mean,
surely.
I'm sure you know, as a performer yourself,
Yeah.
you work so hard at what you do, and especially when you go to a foreign place and you show up and people are into what you're doing and they're appreciative of your music. And this year for us was a big year. It was a year of a lot of growth. Especially even in the States, my single broke the top 40 on country radio.
And congratulations on that.
Thanks.
That was really cool to hear
Thank
about.
you.
That was amazing.
To see your hard work pay off. This year, our crowds from last year in Europe have doubled, if not tripled. And that just means so much. I'm not gonna lie, I got emotional after a few shows because like I would look out and see like 1,000 people and be like we're really doing this, you know, like it really feels like this is the dream ever since you're a little kid, you know, to get to, you know, as a singer or songwriter to play your music and have people know it and appreciate it. And it's been such a wild ride and we're so grateful.
Yeah, that's amazing. Question for you. Where is that? Because this is something I've been facing recently as an artist. Where is that crossover that you go from where you admire other artists to then being that artist that other people admire? You know, that crossover point where you'll be standing in the crowd looking up at that person on stage going, wow, they're amazing. And then next thing you know, it's you on that stage looking out at that crowd going, wow, you're amazing. Where's that, I mean, that changeover point, how does that feel? How does that...
It's so
you
funny
can't
that
explain
you
that.
say that because for the first time ever, I've said that to my husband on this trip. Because it's really we've done some really cool festivals and things and gotten to play with some incredible people the last few years.
Yeah.
But for me personally, everyone always says, how do you know when you made it? Like, how do you feel? Like this year, the crowds and the response, we've sold out of merch twice already on this trip and had to get more manufactured. And for me, that's a feeling of like what's happening type of thing, like that special kind of feeling that something is
It's almost
brewing.
a warm feeling, isn't
Yes.
it?
And for me, I felt that way particularly, and I can't believe you said this, when we came in May for the festival. My kind of look on stage for this tour is very rock and roll, and I found these rhinestone stockings that I've been wearing to every show.
No way.
And I wore them to the festival in May in England.
Yeah.
And I got so many messages after the festival from girls that were there, like, where did you get those?
Kidding.
That I went to order more for the tour and they sold out.
You serious?
So for me, I said to my husband, I was like,
cool.
that's such a weird moment that to feel like people want to, like I always looked at artists and been like, oh, I love what they're wearing, I want to wear that, or how cool are those things that they're wearing, and for that to actually be reversed now is a very, very strange, very humbling, and you feel very flattered. It's
Do you think
really
you'll ever
cool.
get used to that feeling? Do you
Oh,
think?
I thought you you think you'll forget your stockings again?
Well, there is that
So-
pressure. I hope I get the stock back in. Don't go and buy any more. Seriously, she needs some. Do you think you'll ever get used to that feeling? Do you think it'll ever sort of you'll come accommodated with it and you'll go, you know what, this is me now. I get it.
Yeah,
Or do you think it'll always be this sort of warm, everlasting
I
feeling?
hope not.
Yeah.
You know, because it's such a cool feeling and it's a very emotional feeling, and I think the minute that you start to be like, oh yeah, like that's when you stop being the person that you are. And I think that it's really important to always stay grounded and to always be grateful and feel humble. And I think that's what makes you personable to fans. And we've played with some people before that you meet them and you're like, I don't like them so much anymore, you know, and I never ever want to be one of those people.
That's really nice to hear you say, because I mean you've got so many accolades of things that you've done, and I mean you've been in the charts, you've had so many successes, you've played Madison Square Garden too.
I've gotten to sing the national anthem there twice.
Wow,
It's an honor.
What a thing! You've done so many things, and just to hear you say that that's the kind of person you want to stay like and be, that's a big credit.
Thanks. That means a
well.
lot. And, you know, I think it also helps. You know, we were talking about family bands.
This is an interesting topic. So Jessica here, we just actually met for the first time today, and we'd been talking for a little while, but neither of us knew that in my band I have my family. I have my dad on my guitar, my brother on my drums, mum manager, little brother kind of like roadie, bassist and everything. Jumped over here and just met Jessica, and turns out, ironically, that Jessica's family is involved in her band too. So the rundown goes, your dad is your bassist,
Yeah. My mom's my background singer,
Wow.
and my husband's my lead guitarist.
How cool is that?
It was so funny when you said, I hope you don't mind, my family's here. I'm like, I hope you don't mind, my family's here.
It was the greatest connection ever. How do you find it? I know how I find it when I'm like with the guys, because it keeps you really grounded.
It does.
You know, I got to play CMA Festival just this year.
Oh, that's so
June.
cool.
It was really,
Congratulations.
it was really cool. And I found out, I got the email and they said, we want you to come play. I'm like, oh my God. And I ran around the house for like 3 hours, like, oh my God, CMA Fest. And Mum's like, okay, now you can calm down. The rubbish still needs to get done. You need to do this. You need to do that.
Yeah.
But it's like they keep you grounded, and it's good. I think you
Yeah.
need that
It's so,
because
so
it'd be
true.
so easy to get lost in this industry, wouldn't it? And you can you see the crossover where it would get lost? You get lost.
People in this business, and I hate to talk bad about a business that
Yeah.
I'm in, but it's very cutthroat. It's
Yeah.
very, how can I use you to get ahead? How can I make money? You know, money is the driving force, sadly, not art in
Yeah.
this business.
Yeah.
And to have people that you just know you can count on, that have your best interest in mind, like you say you have a record label, it says, oh, I don't want you to release that song, maybe because for their own benefit or their own reason. Your family would say, I don't want you to release that song because it sucks.
Yeah, exactly.
You know?
Exactly. They're honest.
There's a
pay for
big
that.
difference in working with your family and working with people that have
Yeah.
ulterior motives, or, you know, and that's fine. That's business, you know, to make money and whatever. But to have that solid foundation behind you where you know what they say is genuinely for your own good, that's something that's really, really rare and very important.
And you can't pay for that.
No.
And you can't get that from anything else like a label either, I don't think. Unless you're incredibly lucky and you just meet that one person that can do that. But
Yeah.
you're right, it's that connection and that bond, and that's what I'm lucky to have, and I'm so glad that you are too, because I don't think there's enough, personally for me, because I've done a lot of things as well where you're out on the road and you'll have people come to you like, is that your dad on stage? Is that your brother? Like, who are these people? They're like, they look like you. I'm like, yeah, they're family. And I think there's so much more room in the industry for that kind of trend to come back. And I love that you're, without really putting it out there, but you're ambassadoring that as what I am, to kind of bring that element, that June and Johnny Carter and you know, that Cash thing back. Because that was where I guess it sort of ended. I mean, you have the band Perry that do it too.
Yes.
And that's really cool.
They're not country anymore, though.
Oh, not country anymore, are they? They kind of like went mainstream pop, didn't
Yeah, they all got
So-
makeovers. I saw
Oh,
a
did
poster for them. I think they're all blonde now.
Oh, wow.
And I could be wrong unless I'm thinking of another poster. Don't quote me on that.
they? No, but it is cool though when you see somebody actually out there doing that and kind of bringing that family element back to music. Because the music, it started out where it was, you know, around the campfire back in, you know, the tribes and stuff like that.
Yeah.
It was a real family thing and it brought people together, and I think that's where you see so many bands these days where it's just the solo artist, and it's just this and it's just that, and it's so clean and there's no story to it, there's no grit behind it. And what you're doing is just, it's excellent. It's just a commendable thing.
Well, you too. And you know, I think it's more not even just about family, but in a business that's so cookie cutter and so all about the smoke and mirrors and the facade of this artist or whatever that you're supposed to be. I think the family aspects brings relationships back into music. It brings a genuine feeling back into music. I'm not just standing up there smiling like, I love these people because I have to.
Yeah.
It genuinely is there.
And that's what people see too
Yes.
when they're watching you in the crowd. And you would hear that a lot, I imagine. too.
Yes. And it makes a big difference. And I think that's something that's missing in music today. It's all about what needs to be done.
And what can
Not what-
work well for marketing to
Yes.
sell it.
Not what feels good, you know? And I think that's what we're trying to bring back with a genuine family feeling, not just with us, but with the audience
I
too.
love that. Commendable effort. That's wonderful to hear that somebody else is actually doing that and doing it so well. Now, you went and actually played the national anthem at Madison Square. Tell us about that. Like, how did
It
how
was
did that
amazing.
feel
It-
for a start?
Very scary.
Because it's a big thing, isn't it? It's a very commendable thing to be able to go and sing the national anthem as it is anyway, but then to do it in such a incredibly historic and well-known place as well.
Especially as a New Yorker, that's like big bucket list
Exactly.
thing to check off. And I actually only had 1 day's notice. They called me last
Serious?
week. And that was...
Oh wow!
I still credit not having stage fright to that moment.
So not having any time to lead into it.
And it was the scariest thing I've ever done. One, I'm a hugely patriotic person. My dad's retired New York City police officer, so he's a serviceman.
Wow.
And I do a lot of work with veterans and the troops, a lot of benefit stuff, charity work at home, because I'm just a big believer in giving back. And if you have a voice and a means to do that, that you should.
Yeah.
And just the utmost, I'm able to be free and play music because of people's sacrifices. So for me, singing the national anthem is a huge thing because I want to do it justice.
Yeah.
And to sing it in a venue like that was so much pressure that I put on myself. I'm a crazy perfectionist in everything that I do. Like if I don't do it 150%, you can ask the band how band practices go.
At least they're family, so they can't get away from you. I'm fortunate on that front as well.
They can't run away.
Yeah, they can't leave. They're like, oh, well, we'll go for an hour and we'll have to come back
They're
because it's
gonna
Tommy
laugh when they
sister.
see
Exactly, it's great.
That.
Like they're stuck to you. Talk about ball and chain. It's
So
better.
with the national anthem, it's for me times 100.
Wow.
And it was so scary just being in the middle of a dark arena singing a song like that, and that pressure. So the first time I did it, it was for March Madness basketball,
Yeah.
and which is a huge sporting event. And then the second time I did it for professional bull riding.
Wow.
And some things about that made the experience like even crazier is I thought, oh, I'm gonna be cute and wear this little cute dress to sing
no,
it.
how did it go?
You don't know that under all the dirt is an ice rink,
Oh.
which you would never
no,
ever know.
I didn't know that.
To keep it from getting muddy or like it keeps the
Keeps it
dirt
solid.
good, solid.
Yeah.
And
Wow.
so I was freezing too. So you're shaking and
Oh,
then you're trying
no.
to sing. And then secondly, we do a sound check and they're like, so don't get distracted. But we're going to be loading the bowls behind you while you're
great.
singing. So we just want you to know you're going to be hearing slamming and breathing against you. Okay.
Oh, no pressure. Wow.
So on top of being nervous, on top of shaking because you're freezing, behind you, you're literally hearing slamming the entire time
and
because
they've
the
got a
bowls
big
are pushing.
sound. Oh, yeah.
And it was actually really cool though. We were right backstage and they lit the PBR logo on fire and there's fireworks going. They do this crazy thing.
Right,
All of a sudden, the arena goes totally dark.
Yeah.
These two cowboys literally come on both sides of me and like pull me out, stand me in the
Wow.
middle, and then one spotlight.
Oh, that's so cool.
And
Did you get to rehearse it before you
It
did it?
was, yes, not
You
with
did?
the lights and everything,
No.
so I wasn't expecting such a, but
Dramatic.
just that feeling was like, oh my god.
So they actually picked you and lifted you out. And
Yeah,
dropped
they
you.
literally like both
Wow.
escorted me out and just dropped me. It was like, okay, I guess this is
Wow,
it.
that's a weird fit. I mean,
So-
that would have been weird in itself to
Yes.
be ushered by bulls and cowboys, right?
Yes,
Okay,
it
horses
really
and cowboys.
was. It was such a cool experience, and
Yeah.
I'll never forget that. And ever since then, I honestly have never gotten nervous again because my level of nerves
Thank
was
you,
so
you
high
love it.
that nothing
love that.
ever compared.
Yeah.
So
Wow.
so I'm very
Well,
grateful.
so that there would probably be the highest stake nerve gig you've ever done, do you think?
I mean, we've done really big concerts, like just
Yeah.
as many people.
Yeah.
But for me, doing the national anthem in a venue like that, with just a scene like that, was a very frightening, but also overwhelming emotionally and
I can
exciting
imagine.
experience.
Wow. And you've done a lot of work with other artists as well. You've been on the road with the Red Lynn, for example.
Yeah,
You've shared stages with Keith Urban, and just how does that feel?
it's
When you're up there with, I mean, I can only imagine how it feels on my spectrum, because those kind of artists are people that, they're the ones you look up at and you go, wow, you guys, how did you, wow, you're like another life source. How does that feel when you're up there with them at that point and you're on that stage and you're standing next to them and you're getting their advice and you're talking with them about that crowd?
especially
How's
as
that
a New Yorker.
Yeah.
It really meant a lot to me when those gigs started coming in because I always was scared how people were going to look at me going into country music.
Why is that?
You know, New York is not known for being the most country of places,
Yeah.
and I never wanted people to think I was like a fraud, you know?
Fair enough.
But I grew up playing in rock and roll bands because the New York City nightclub scene, that's what you did. But I always was listening to country music, and my dad loved it, and I always had it on in the house. And when I started writing music, there were no stories like the stories of country music to me, and that's why I gravitated towards it.
Yeah.
So I always said, no matter what was popular in country, whether, you know, there's a lot of these songs about the back roads and the this and that, that's not me. I
And
grew
your feet
up
up on the
close to New York
dashboard.
City.
Yeah.
So I said I will never sing about those things.
Yeah.
Like, I'm going to do my own version of country music, because country music is all about being true and genuine.
Yeah.
And if I was to sing about those things, I'm not riding in the cornfield in New York City. Like, it's just not happening. So
As nice as that probably sounds, it's not genuine. And I like that you keep it actual and accurate. That's really, and with you, that's important as an
it
artist.
is. So when these gigs started coming in, I felt welcomed into
Yeah.
country music, and that was really big for me.
Yeah.
And it's really cool to get to, you know, be out there with these people that you look up to. We got to open for ZZ Top in France.
Like, how was that?
That was amazing.
I mean,
I'm a big fan of them. They're like the coolest dude. I hope I could be this cool of what they are one day.
Yeah. I mean, I think you're pretty close anyway. That's
thanks.
I mean, that wow, what a thing.
But even just sound check, you have their crew and stuff up there and all the ZZ Top things while we're on stage. It's like,
What were their crowds like to play for? Like,
they were fun.
Oh,
They were really fun. And Billy Gibbons was so sweet. Yeah, he was really, really nice. And it's been a dream come true. It's a lot of pinch me moments have happened in the last few years, and but it's all attributed to hard work.
Yeah.
You know, everybody always it irks me so much when we do interviews and they're like, "You're like an overnight success."
oh, that's like no, an overnight success is like guaranteed at least 5 years of hard work and no sleep.
I appreciate it so much that it comes off that way. But I'm 29 now, and I've been working professionally as a musician since I was 13.
Wow.
Like in a band.
So is that when you started like writing your own music? Was it around that age too?
And I started my own band, and we were in
Wow.
New York City nightclubs during school nights, trying to get my original music out there. And you know, we're an independent project, and I work my butt off. And
it shows.
And a lot of people don't see. That's why I wanted to do these tour vlogs on this trip, because people don't see the late nights, the early mornings. They just see me show up with my hair done. They see me in the car before I got here. I had like my rollers in the Holiday Inn breakfast room. Like,
Yeah, you still got food in your teeth and you're trying to clean. Yeah, I know. Yeah,
you know. And then
the
people
glam
just
side.
show up and they think it's just like, oh, I'm here.
Yeah, there's so much behind the scenes that goes on to make that final, like that final look and that final thing.
Yeah.
And the rehearsing and the hours of you know, putting the music together and building it. And as you said, you do all that side of yourself, which is a huge undertask.
It's a labor of love.
Oh yeah.
And music, actually being on stage is probably 5% of what this job actually is.
Wow. And that's really the part where you get that rewarding feeling come back. For all the rest of that 95%,
yes,
it's that 5% that you go, wow, this is what I do it
yeah.
for.
You always say you don't get paid to perform. You'd be crazy to want to get paid to perform, you know?
Yeah.
You get paid for all the other stuff that you'd have to do.
I totally hear. We was just out, I mean, you played Edinburgh last night here at the Liquid Rooms, and I couldn't come because I was out in Glasgow playing my own show at the same time.
Story
So
of our
I
lives.
know, it was a pain because I would have loved to have been there. But same thing, I was out there in Glasgow and the crowd was just so engaging. They were up on their feet, they're jumping, they're dancing, they're like, encore, encore, give us more. I'm like, I've already put the guitars down, we've said our goodbyes. Like, okay, we're going again. So out we put, you know, all the gear and we're doing it again. And they just, when that feeling is what it, for me as well, is what it's all about. And that comes down to all those hours of hard work and no sleep and writing, and it's there.
It's the best feeling in the whole world. There's nothing, like, that's why we're a very clean band.
Yeah.
I never understood why musicians need to do drugs.
Mm-hmm.
I never, ever understood that or drink, because that's like the best
So you don't drink
high.
either? Me either.
No.
How about that? No.
I'm a very healthy person.
Yeah.
I try to always be in top shape and top form, and you can't be.
Because you're the, without sounding bad, you're the product and you're what you're giving to the people. So you've got to be the best version of you, right?
And I try to be a good role model to young girls, and you know, and I just try to
and you
live
dress
a very
really
healthy
well
life.
too. You're not like some country artists that will have, or any kind of artist that's sort of like, you know, less of this and less of that, and you know, you're respectable, and that's really commendable.
I want the music to speak for itself.
Exactly. How is it when you're writing? Do you put that sort of, because you can, when you can write in a way that's for the people, or you can write for yourself. Do you do it so that it's particularly for the people, do you think? Or do you think you do it sort of more where it's for yourself?
When I'm writing for radio, I write for radio because sadly, you have to kind of be current and fit in with what's going on.
Yeah.
My live show is a lot more rock and roll than what people hear from me on the radio. And it all still fits. It's all still very me.
Yeah.
But like, I love the blues. Like, I'm a huge blues person and rock and roll person. And on country radio right now, the blues song that I wrote that I play live is not going to get airplay. So
Sadly.
you have to think about that. So when I do write for that, but normally when I write, and it's taken me time to learn this, because in this business it's all very much about trying to be with the times and fit in, and but also that doesn't make you always a genuine artist. And I've learned a lot about that over the last few years. And for example, a year ago when I went to Nashville, I had this shuffle song that I had, it was humming in my head for weeks, and I really wanted to write it.
Yeah.
And I went into the writing room and I said, I'd like to write this song. And the guy said, no, shuffles are never going to work. Let's write something else.
Oh.
So I went home and I wrote it myself.
Good girl.
And it's been one of the best live songs
Kidding.
in our show since then. And that taught me a lot about it. You know, like, yeah, you have to do what you have to do, but you also have to
Go with your gut.
Yes, go with your gut and be happy and be you. And that's why people are going to like you. People aren't going to like me because I'm trying to sound like Carrie Underwood on the radio. They're going to like me because I'm Jessica Lynn.
Yeah.
And it takes a lot of courage and a lot of strength to just say, I'm going to be me and I'm going to do this. And I've turned down a lot of offers, and even things in Nashville before that said, you know, I had someone tell me that they wanted me to fire the pedal steel from my band and start using more synths and auto-tune, and they would take me on as a client. And I
And
said no.
where does somebody get the nerve to kind of push forward that far to say that you need to do this, you need to do that before you can work with me?
Yeah, I think it's
Yet
just the
you're
business.
the artist. It's
You know, they
tricky.
see that that's what's working on radio right now, or that that's what will make them money.
Yeah.
But you know, I'm more concerned with what's going to make me happy and what's going to make my fans happy and what's going to put out good music rather than what's just going to make a quick buck, because quick buck's going to be gone tomorrow, but your legacy and your music will last forever.
And you've got longevity for sure, because that's exactly what you're doing. You're putting that whole family thing out there. You're putting that real, genuine you out there, and that's what resonates with people. And that's why so far the tour that you've had already just here has been such a success. You've had so many people come and just fill up the venues and fill up the areas, and just it's really nice to see what you're doing. It's wonderful.
Thank you so much.
So what have we got on the way of new music and videos? And you've got the TV special coming out as well. When's that all going to be finished and ready and out, and when can people see it?
It's starting now. So
It's starting now.
A day ago, we actually did the nationwide feed in America to the station. So we're really excited.
Go check it out.
It's going to start getting picked up. And here, I think it's the end of the month that it will start. It had to start in America first before we could let it air
And
here.
where will people be able to tune in to watch it, to see it?
Here in the UK, it's
Yeah.
on Spotlight TV. It's nationwide. It's Ireland too.
Yeah. Wonderful.
And in the USA, it's going to be on PBS,
Wow.
which they did my last 2 television specials, and I'm really excited. This is probably the album and the show that I'm the most proud of that I've ever done, because it's me.
Yeah.
I didn't worry about anything.
Yeah.
I worried about making good music and showing my heart and my soul through what I chose to. I carefully picked each and every song. They all have a story behind them. And
Can we do a song real quick?
yeah, we can.
Can we do one?
Yeah, I'd love that.
Let's do that. Let's go for it. Let's do a song.
So this is a song on my brand new album and also in the brand new TV special. It's one of my favorites, and it's called Better Than That. Here you are, 2 a.m., knock, knock on my door again. You wanna talk about her, telling me she's just mad that it ain't that bad. Things could be worse. You say you're happy, she's the one for you. This is me you're talking to. I know you're better than that. Oh yeah. She's not the one for you, the one that's gonna love you back. many times. We're gonna do this till you realize I know you better than that. Oh yeah. I'm the only one that's been around you when you need a friend. You wanna talk about love? Oh, she only brings you down. That's why you come around. Look out. I know you're better than that. Oh yeah. She's not the one for you, the one that's gonna love you back. Oh yeah. Boy, can you tell me just how many times we're gonna do this till you realize I know you're better than that. Oh yeah. It's a little guitar solo, but I'm solo obviously. You say you're happy, she is the one for you. This is me you're talking to. I know you're better than that. Oh yeah. She's not the one for you, the one that's gonna love you back. Ooh, I love you better than that. Ooh, she's not the one for you, baby. I know where you're at. Ooh, I know you better than that. I know you better than that. Ooh, I know you better than that. I know you better than you are to wait. Knock, knock on my door again.
Okay, we're back after that song. Better than that. That was so beautiful. You've got such great vocals for like 10 o'clock in the morning
you.
as well. And you just did a gig last night out of the Liquid Rooms as well, so your voice is kind of like tired anyway, so thank you.
Yeah, oh, my pleasure.
How
This
was
is
the
actually our 5th this week,
Whoa.
so my voice is feeling really tired. And I told you I woke up this morning with a little bit of a cold, but it's just a crazy hectic schedule. You know, like late nights, early mornings. You're talking all night on top of singing.
That's the worst you can do, isn't it? And everybody, that's the one thing that you don't know is, if you're not an artist, is that you go out and you do a gig, and then everyone wants to talk to you at the end of the gig for seemingly hours, and you don't stop screeching and talking loud over the rest of the music. And
It's because the music is always so loud after. You don't mind the talking, but you're always shouting, you know?
How do you deal with it when you're on the road? Because you face it a lot where your voice goes.
Yes.
Like, I went to Nashville just recently for this, as I said earlier, but when I got there, it was 3 days before CMA show, and I lost my voice. I couldn't speak, I couldn't do anything, and I'm thinking, oh my god, what's happened? And it turned out I had no idea, but the allergies and the pollen in Nashville is like this massive cesspool, and nobody told me.
Yeah.
And so when I got there, I had no voice, and I'm thinking, oh, this is just dandy, what do I do? And nothing was working. And I ended up having, I tried the lozenges and this and the honey and that, and nothing was working. And so I ended up having to go and get steroids to go and get rid of it, and then a big Z-Pack afterwards, and I managed to get it back just in time. It was like, it was so like on the edge.
It's the worst.
How do you deal with it? Like, as you're on the road all the time, you're doing gig after gig after gig, and talking all the time when you're at the end of the shows. And how do you do
I
it?
try to get, I always exercise too. I feel like exercise, every day I exercise, I feel like that really helps keep your immune system strong. But also after shows, I do a lot of like mouthing, so like, and it's loud so no one ever knows you're not actually.
That's a good idea. I need to tape that one. That's good.
And know, I try to just get, sometimes it's not possible. Like the night before last night, only 3 hours of sleep.
Wow.
And I think that's why I got extra run down. But sometimes you can't help it. But when you can help it, try to get as much rest as possible. They all went to Liverpool the other day, which I really wanted to go, but instead I stayed in bed by myself and just rested. Because, you know, you start to feel that feeling. And actually, I had sinus surgery this year.
Oh, no, really?
Because I was getting the most awful sinus infections.
Oh.
And they really were affecting my life. I was sick for our whole European tour last year.
Oh, no way.
It took me 4 courses of antibiotics to knock it out.
Oh, my goodness.
So I said,
That would have been really, like, hard, like, worry and stress and anxiety as well. With that, it would have been horrible.
Awful.
Oh, God.
And you can't enjoy stuff fully, you know, when you're not feeling up, you're your best. So it was the best thing I ever did. I have not gotten a sinus infection since I had the surgery. It's been since November.
Wow.
And I was getting them about every 2 weeks. So I'm very used to staying sick and feeling run down.
Yeah.
So this being healthy all the time.
So it's like, oh, that's a whole new me. What's this? That sounds good.
So it's just important, you know, take care, eat healthy.
Yeah.
Of course, it's so tempting on the road, you know, to try this fried stuff. And even like McDonald's and Burger King, I don't eat fast food, but I'm like, halloumi burger? What is this? Oh my gosh, I have to try all
And
this
it's
stuff.
right there, and it's great.
And you're in a rush.
Always.
So that's the hardest thing, I think. Eating healthy, sleeping.
While you've been in Scotland, have you tried haggis yet?
No, I'm actually, I eat vegan most
You're
of the time.
vegan. Okay.
But
I've never tried it yet, and I've lived here 3
Yeah?
years, and I'm trying to go vegan, vegetarian kind of like, and so I've never tried it yet.
Yeah?
But I'm
So
a
do it
bit
before
scared
you.
too as well.
My dad and Steve tried it last night, and they actually really liked it.
Really?
Yes. Steve said he would eat it all the time. So did my dad.
My
I've been
dad says the same
vegetarian.
thing too.
Really?
Yeah.
11 years now I've been vegetarian.
Congratulations.
Thanks.
That's a long commitment.
It's you know, I am a huge animal lover.
Yeah.
And I'm not someone that passes judgment on other
No.
people for eating whatever. I just personally don't like to
Yeah.
do it. And I felt so much healthier when I gave it up.
Good on you.
So it's sometimes very hard to eat on the road. You're eating a lot of French fries and ice cream.
Yeah. Which sometimes isn't always so bad, the ice cream part. But how do you find it where the industry's at the moment with women in music? As far as, you know, being the leader of a big old band, as Johnny Bigger would say. And
Do you know that we do that cover?
I didn't. Do you actually?
That's our finale in the show.
Serious?
Yeah, we're doing a different, interesting version of it.
There we go.
It's
Look
so
at
funny that you just said that.
I had no idea. But you're the leader of this big old band, and it's wonderful. And how do you manage all of the dynamics of it as a woman, and in such a wonderful position in country music right now, where you are, and meeting all these incredible people? Do you feel that there is a lot of leeway for growth for women in the genre or in the industry itself? Do you think it's a happening thing, or how do you feel?
I do. You know, it's definitely obvious that the airwaves are dominated by a lot of male artists. I mean, even sometimes we play festivals and I'm the only female on the bill, which is really cool, but it's also not cool at the same time. But I am a big believer in it's about the music and the songs. Just because you're a female doesn't mean that you deserve radio play.
Pretty cool.
You know? And I personally have felt like in recent years that the men in country music have been coming out with more feel-good music.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've noticed, like a lot of Carrie Underwood's big hits or Miranda Lambert, but they're all kind of more, I don't want to say angry, but more serious.
Yeah.
And
They're not as fun.
yes.
No,
And I feel like the guys have been bringing the party.
Like Old Dominion just brought out that song "Make It Sweet," and that is like the funnest song ever. You know, it's
And I think that's what it's about. I don't really think it's a male versus female thing. I think it's about the way that you make people feel. And for me, when I listen to music, I want to feel happy. And you know, when I'm driving in my car, I want to hear some stuff I could be dancing to. And you know, often at home I don't listen to country radio that much because I feel like it's very down, like
my dog left, my car broke down,
and it's very middle of the road, and I like energy.
Yeah.
So I
I
feel
can't
like,
half tell when you see footage of you on stage. You're just like this ball of energy, you're just out there, just everywhere. It's great.
I feel like that's why we've been successful. We bring good vibes.
Yeah.
And I think that's a big part of it. I think it's about the music and the vibe that you give and what people want to hear in that particular moment. And I don't think anybody's owed anything just because you're male or female or whatever. I think it's about how hard you work and that you can overcome anything by just believing in yourself. And
You're so balanced. I love that.
Thanks.
You know, there's so many. I've talked with so many people, and there's so many people that lean towards this and lean towards that. But you're level on the board, and I think that's where it makes such a difference too, because your music stands out more because of that. And it is honest and it's genuine, and your music isn't very sad either. That song you just played was just so, I mean, it's so sweet and just melodic and really sweet. It was great. Can we do another one?
Yes, I would love that. All right, this one's called Let's Don't. I got your text saying you made reservations. Little do you know I already made us plans. Just leave those keys right there. We ain't going anywhere. No way. You just do what I say. We don't gotta spend a lot of money, honey. Boy, you got me so tipsy when you put those lips up on me. You don't need to go all champagne crazy, baby. We got some cheap box wine, that's all we need for the time. We don't gotta go downtown. Why dress up when we can get dressed down? I'd rather make out on this couch. We could go out, let's don't. Oh yeah. Let's rearrange this room. I'll show you my new move. Put on some Marvin Gaye, let's get it on. We don't gotta spend a lot of money, honey. Boy, you got me so tipsy when you put those lips up on me. You don't need to go all champagne crazy, baby. We got some cheap box wine, that's all we need for the time. We don't gotta go downtown. Why dress up and we can get dressed down? I'd rather make out on this couch. We could go out, let's go. Need a band to get real loud. Let's get it on. We don't gotta spend a lot of money, honey. Boy, you got me so tipsy when you put those lips up on me. You don't need to go all champagne crazy, baby. We got some cheap box wine, that's all we need for a good time. We don't gotta go downtown. Why dress up and we can get dressed down? Or rather make out on this couch. We could go out, let's don't. Let's don't. What do you say? Let's don't.
Yeah.
This is the greatest voice in the whole world.
Oh my God,
10 o'clock in the morning, I
I
just can't believe it. Guys, it's Jessica Lynn. Go and find her on socials. Go and see her at a show while she's here in the UK before she goes back to the US. What have you got planned? What's coming up for the future so that people can follow what's going on and see you somewhere?
Well, we finished up the UK run, then we head back to Germany. We end the tour in Lithuania, and then we start right away once we get back to New York.
No sleep in any of those things.
September
Go and
1st,
find
I
her.
can have a nap.
Wow. Go and find her online. Check her out on socials. Jessica Lynn, thanks so much for being on the
Thank
show.
you so
And we'll
much.
see you guys soon. Take care. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you guys next week.
Taking over me.